All right, brothers, let me come on here. I want to leave an important message for you because this is something that I see and experience every time we do this group. We are all in different places and spaces in our relationship. Some of you have wives that are fully on board and in support of this journey you're taking because they want healing and restoration. There are others that are on the fence. They just don't know. They're in a stuck place and they have a front row seat to your life and they're looking and waiting to see what you gonna do. And then there are others who have said, I'm done, I'm out, it's over. There's nothing you can say or do that's gonna make a difference. And unfortunately, so many of us as men are reactionary. We react. There's a phenomenal book called His Brain, Her Brain, and it talks about how we are wired differently even while yet in the womb. We are just two unique, different beings. And it says that women speak the language of emotions, feelings. Men speak the language of actions. So in the context of what we're talking about, a woman who's on the fence, I don't know if I want this, or a woman who's adamant, I'm out, I'm done, it's over, they're speaking the language of the feelings and the emotions that they have at that time in that season. But the one thing we know about feelings and emotions, they shift and they change. They're up and they're down. They're all around. So for a period of time, yes, that's exactly how they feel for legitimate reasons. And unfortunately, as men, we're very reactionary. And oftentimes we operate in haste. Well, fine. If she don't want it, then I don't want it. If she ain't willing to, move forward, then oh well, I might as well just pack up and leave now. And we are reacting to every word that comes out of their mouth. This is why in the book of Ecclesiastes, there's a powerful scripture that says, do not pay attention to every word that comes out of a person's mouth, because if you do, you will hear your servant cursing you. There's a principle in that. You cannot pay attention to every word that is uttered from a betrayed spouse's mouth, because in their pain, they will say things. In their pain, they will declare things. They will be adamant. They will be determined about what will, what won't, what's gonna, what's not. They will do all of that. But that may not be where they may find themselves a week from now, a month from now. So if you make permanent decisions based upon temporary circumstances, you will be shooting yourself in the foot. This is why it is critically important for you to remain strong, for you to remain steadfast, for you to remain consistent in your efforts, because what is not working now is not an indication of what may or may not happen a month from now. It is your consistency, it is your diligence, it is your commitment to this process that will lead to your breakthrough and the possible transformation and restoration of your relationship. So don't be so quick to give up, throw in the towel, call it quits, and just say, oh well, what's the point? You're looking for a guarantee. You're looking for certainty. That is the problem. If your spouse has been betrayed, they have every reason to be in pain, every reason to doubt the process, every reason to reconsider whether this is even worth it. You've given them those reasons. As someone once said, oftentimes our wives, they're not looking for a reason to leave. We've given them plenty reasons to leave. What they're looking for is a reason to stay. And so when they're adamant about what they don't want in this relationship, and we fall right behind them, okay, oh well, might as well pack up my bags and go. Then they're thinking, well, good God, it was that easy? Where's the fight in you? Where's the drive in you? Well, why wouldn't you be willing to fight for this marriage and fight for this family if you claim you want it? So the moment I say something, you're so fragile, you're quick to run. Like, show me something. And that's what you have to do. You have to show them something. This journey's not going to be easy. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a challenge. Certain days are going to be worse than others. But you got to put your big boy britches on and realize that every day is a fight. And the biggest fight that you have, interestingly enough, is not with your wife. The biggest fight you have is right here. Because this is the battlefield right here. Because every thought, every temptation, Every fear, every bit of anxiety, every lie is going to be swarming through your head. You're going to be having internal conversations with yourself that will not serve you. You have deeply embedded beliefs that will convince you that it's pointless to move forward. Why waste the time? Why waste the money? I might as well just cut my losses now and move forward. And that's what the enemy wants you to do. The enemy wants you to give up, cave in, and quit. You know why? Because Satan hates marriage. Why? Because he knows what you may not. He knows that marriage was created by God. That when God put a man and woman together, the man represents the masculine expression of who God is, and the woman represents the feminine expression of who God is. And when a man and a woman come together, they represent the image of God in the earth. This is why we believe that marriage is God's secret weapon for kingdom domination in the earth realm. And the enemy hates it. And because he hates God, he will attempt to destroy everything that represents who God is. So he will attack your marriage with conflict. He will attack it with infidelity. He will attack it with everything imaginable to get you to break. Because breaking the marriage is breaking the image of God in the earth, which we represent. So you look at your spouse as the enemy, but you don't realize that there's a greater enemy waging war against you. Your fight, your battle is not with flesh and blood. It's with principalities and rulers of the darkness of this world. It's spirits in high places. And if you're not aware of that, you will take what your partner says, okay, in the wrong way, thinking that they're your enemy, and they are not. They are broken. They are hurting. They are in a desperate place. And guess what? So are you. What you did caused pain, hurt, and brokenness in your spouse. And now they're projecting that pain, hurt, and brokenness towards you. You hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. And that's what it is. In the beginning stages of the recovery process, that's exactly what it is. Two hurt people hurting each other back and forth. But the fact of the matter is there was probably some pain, hurt, and brokenness within you that caused you to do what you did in the first place. So you need to get healed. You need to become whole. You need to be strengthened. You need to become strong. You do not need to be vacillating back and forth from day to day. Do I stay? Do I go? You do not need to be paying attention to every word that comes out of your spouse's mouth and use that as a determination of whether you're going to continue to fight or give up the fight. You've got to ignore the facts. See, there's a difference between facts and truth. What do I mean? Scripture says, let the weak say that I am strong. Let the poor say that I am rich. The facts may be I have nothing in my bank account, but the truth is I'm wealthy because I serve a God who owns cattle on 1,000 hills. The fact may be I don't have physical strength. The truth is I'm strong beyond measure. If you remember in Scripture, Moses was called to deliver the people, right, from captivity. And he went to Pharaoh and demanded that his people go. But it was Moses who said, God, why would you choose me? I'm a stutterer. I don't have the ability to communicate. God told him that he is a deliverer of the people. Moses was looking at the facts. God was looking at the truth. Jeremiah in the Old Testament was a prophet. God called Jeremiah to deliver a message to the people. Jeremiah says, but God, I'm but a child. God says to him, you're a prophet of nations. Gideon in the Bible, God called him to be a mighty warrior. Gideon said, but I'm a weak and feeble man. God said, no, you have might, you have strength, and you are called to a purpose. So he was looking at the facts and not focusing on the truth. So what's happening is God is having a spiritual conversation with us. We are having a soulish conversation with him. What do I mean? In the area of the soul, where the mind, the will, the emotions, the thought, the intellect, the imagination, all of those things reside, we're relying on our sensory knowledge, what we see, what we taste, what we smell, what we feel, what we touch, right? All of those senses. We live life and interpret life based upon these senses. And because of what I see, evidence supports the idea that XYZ, limitations, can't be done, can't do this, can't achieve that. So we're looking at the facts and we're looking through the lens of the soul and saying what we can't do. God is having a spiritual conversation with us because in the spirit realm, it's beyond what you can see. It's beyond your senses. It is where all possibility, all probability, all truth lies. We only see and know in part. God knows the bigger picture. So when he speaks to you and tells you to stay, to be resilient, to fight, to restore, we look at the facts and say there's no evidence that would support that this would ever work. This is why we need to ignore the facts, because the facts are temporary. The facts are subject to change. And when we stand on truth, irregardless of what the facts may display, we can become victorious. So I don't want any of you considering throwing in the towel in your journey of recovery because of some words that were expressed by your spouse. Trust and believe they're watching you to see how strong you are. Are you willing to fight for them? Are you willing to fight for your marriage? Are you willing to do the necessary work to become the best version of yourself so that you can be for them what you have failed to be, which caused you to be in the situation that you're in? What are you going to do when it gets hard? What are you going to do when your back is up against the wall? What are you going to do when it looks like there's no way that things could ever, ever, ever improve? What are you going to do? What are you made of? This is why scripture says, be strong and show yourself a man. So let's get it.